Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. Well, hello. It is Saturday, the 25th of November, not October. It's definitely November. I've had a fair few messages about that one. I'm really sorry. I know I mentioned it in my previous video. It's not October. It's November. It's nearly my favourite time of the year, which is December. I do love Christmas. Oh, I'm a real Christmas girly. Anyway, so it seems that more nonsense is coming out about the Harkles because Omid Scobies is slowly drip feeding his new book Endgame, which is out on Tuesday. Now, I was in two minds on whether or not to buy it because I don't really want to give money to Omid Scobies, but seeing as it's now a ridiculously cheap price, I thought I would. I will read it just like I did Finding Freedom and break it down for you guys. I will take one for the team, but there was no way I was buying it at its top price. I've got it for a bargain bucket price. But as usual, in most cases, for most books, little tidbits and interviews are being done to try and promote this sewer fest. Now, cast your mind back a couple of years when Meghan sat down in that luxurious garden with Oprah Winfrey in that god-awful dress that looked like a pigeon had pooed over it. It's March 2021 and all hell broke loose when Meghan sat with Oprah with her doe eyes, sad expression, and claimed that several conversations were had about Archie's skin colour. She hadn't heard them directly, it was Harry that had heard them, but great offence was taken. Nobody ever named the racist that was being accused, but it's safe to say that worldwide media went absolutely crazy, and it really did. It was the topic of conversation for a very long time, caught the headlines around the world. That's something that I have to add here. It wasn't just the British media, it was worldwide media. That there was a racist in the royal family. Obviously, it caused huge amount of tension, huge amount of discussion, and a lot of damage was done to the royal family because of that. Fast forward to January this year when Harry was trying to flog his own book. He sat down with ITV's Tom Bradby and then said, no, we didn't accuse the royal family of being racist. It was the British media that did that. Notice the British media that did that. Irrelevant of the fact that when it was claimed in March 2021, the whole of the bloody world was talking about it. But no, it was the British media that started all of this. The naughty British media that Harry hates so much. Why am I saying this all again? Well, it's piped up again, hasn't it? The wonderful mouthpiece that is Omid Scobies has now claimed in his book that Meghan Markle accused two people in the royal household of airing concerns about her son's Archie's skin colour. This is according to Omid Scobies' book. In this book, he claims that Meghan wrote to King Charles to outline her concerns about what Harry overheard. Not what she overheard, but what Harry overheard. So she is now claiming, or Omid is now claiming, the two get so mixed up because we can't ever forget that she lied in court. Can you remember that? When they completely denied any association with Omid's first book, Finding Freedom. No, we didn't help. No, we didn't help. No, we didn't help. When in fact, up pops the court where Meghan actually sued the Daily Mail for publicising her letter to her father, and it turns out, oh yeah, we did actually help. Oh, sorry, I forgot. And that... It was probably one of the best newspaper front pages ever, and it's Little Miss Forgetful. Calling her out to be exactly what she is. She lied to the court to say she didn't help, and then she turned out, actually, I completely forgot, I did actually help. They're claiming not to have helped in this one. And Omid is claiming, no, Harry and Meghan haven't helped. Absolute poppycock. You're really telling me that they haven't given the nod to somebody that's close to them or directly to Omid Scobies themselves? Because there is absolutely no way that Omid Scobies would have known that Meghan would have written a letter to King Charles without direct instruction that that information can be passed on, especially when it's going into a book. No way, Jose. Let's not forget that Meghan Markle sued the Sunday Mail, the Daily Mail, because they printed extracts of her letter to her father. Yet, all of a sudden, we have information of a letter that's been sent to King Charles, who obviously was then Prince Charles. How has this information got into the public domain? How has this information been put in Omid Scobies' lap? Why is this being brought up yet again? This is going to do more damage to Harry and Meghan than it will do to the royal family. Why, I hear you ask? Well, it's quite simple. We are sick and tired of their victim mentality. The whole world is now rolling their eyes. Oh, good God, not this crap again. It is a very well-known fact that, and I did a lot of research with regards to this when it first happened, when this bombshell came out after the Oprah Winfrey interview. It is quite normal to have a conversation with regards to an expectant baby of what their genetics will be like. Will they have brown hair? Will they have blonde hair? Will they have blue eyes? Will they have brown eyes? Will they have green eyes? Will they have fair skin, dark skin? You're light skinned, I'm dark skinned. What is the baby going to like? Is it going to have curly hair? It is a normal conversation for couples and families to speculate of what their child will look like. I have to read you this, that on the article that the Daily Mail have printed with regards to this story, the top comment from this article, which incidentally, as it stands right now, has 23,779 likes versus 214 dislikes, is from Not Very Anonymous from Derbyshire. And they say, my husband has Spanish ancestry, has olive skin and tans easily, has dark curly hair. I'm very pale skinned with straight brown hair. We speculated on what skin tone and hair colour type our baby would have during both my pregnancies, as did friends and relatives. It's a perfectly normal conversation to have, and I completely agree. There are 46 replies to that comment, and I'm sure that that comment will grow in popularity and replies, but everybody is basically saying, well said, exactly, I said the same thing, we had the same conversations with our family. It's a perfectly normal conversation to have. Only a psychopath would think otherwise. One of the comments says, literally happens in any family where there are two people that aren't the same skin tone, including my own. This was so overblown, it's laughable. And that's the thing, isn't it? It is laughable. It is just so ridiculous. The fact that she actually wrote a letter, and it's now common knowledge, thanks to Omid Scobies, that she wrote a letter, shows that she has no intention of dropping this at all. So all that garbage of, oh, I'm going to let bygones be bygones, we're going to heal, I'm not going to do anything to hurt the royal family anymore, absolute BS. This proves otherwise. You're telling me that if they haven't directly dealt with Omid, they've done it by proxy, because how else would they know that Meghan wrote a letter? Especially since she's overly sensitive about people talking about letters that she writes. Is there going to be a lawsuit? No, of course not. I have to remind everybody yet again that Harry himself said his family were not racist. Yet this narrative is being brought back into the mix again. And you have to ask why? Why now? And why all of a sudden has it become two people? So this is the third narrative that's been touted. First, it was Harry when Meghan said that there was a racist in the family, and then Harry came on to Oprah and said during the Oprah interview that it was only one person and that Meghan wasn't even there. Then we have the second version with Tom Bradby, who then said Meghan never said that the royal family were racist. It was the British press that said the royal family, even though it was worldwide press that ran with this narrative. And then now version 3, we have Omid Scobies saying that there were two people that showed racist tendencies with regards to the child's skin colour. In the words of our late, beautiful Queen Elizabeth II, recollections may vary. How many versions are we going to have? Mark my words, as I've said, this will do more damage to Harry and Meghan than it will the royal family. More people will be more empathetic towards the royal family because this narrative is yet being brought up again, but it changes slightly every different time. Isn't that always the way when you tell a lie over and over again? The lie will always slightly change with a developing newer narrative. This is exactly what's happening. Omid Scobies needed sensational tidbits for his book. Well, it's been done. So it's now 2 people that discussed it. Let's get some ratings and say that 2 people did it. And the fact that Meghan wrote to King Charles. How does Scobies know? It's a simple question. Honestly, I would like your honest opinions. How has Omid Scobies got the information that Meghan Markle wrote a letter to King Charles? How does he know? Because he's been given the green light to discuss it. It's quite simple. I have to read you this tweet from Omid Scobies because it's quite farcical. Thank you to the Twitter account CBCB. You know I love you. They have posted it on Twitter because I'm blocked by Scobies. He doesn't like what I say. Anyway, he says that whether you like my work or loathe it, all I ask is that if you are reading coverage about what's supposedly inside #endgame, please also read the book itself. Incorrect and bad translations, snippets without context, leaks, etc. do not tell the full or accurate story. Thank you. Oh, Scobies, is somebody twisting your words? Oh, Diddums, because you've never done that, have you? And as CBCB says, someone doth protest too much. Is his ring piece twitching? You're not telling the full or accurate story either, so jog on, Ken. I do like that nickname for him. Kendall. If you really believe all the lies, deceit and BS that is continued bitch fest on behalf of migraine, you wouldn't feel the need to defend it, Muppet. I'm going to end this video with one simple question. Who is it? Who's done it? Did it happen? Is it 1? Is it 2? Or this changing narrative? Either name them or shut up. If it happened, don't hide behind somebody else. Just simply name whoever you think said what. Details matter. Speculation leads to lies and distrust. It leads to dangerous narratives and mudslinging. And yet again, it's happened time and time and time, over and over and over. How many times are we going to hear the same story, but with a different narrative, just for clicks? Now, I found this on Twitter, and again, wonderful Twitter account. I've mentioned them in my previous video, which is Sage1411. I think this is from an extract from his book, but it could be a translation from the French media outlet that has run a story on this particular news topic that we're talking about. And looking at the actual way it's worded, I think it's from Omid's new book, and it says, the arrival of Meghan in 2016 saw my 2 news beats, entertainment and the royals, collide, and less than a year later I made the decision to focus on the royal family full time, owing to a unique pool of sources and a refusal to follow the crowd. I quickly became a trusted confidant for many in and around the younger family, a true insider. Well, there you have it. A true insider, directly from Omid Scobies' mouth himself. Just how much of a true insider have you really been? Well, I can answer that because the court has already told us that you were in fact an insider directly with Harry and Meghan. And are you telling me that if they've done it once, they wouldn't do it twice? They have either given the nod to friends by proxy or done it themselves. There is no other way that Omid Scobies can have the knowledge that Meghan wrote a letter to the king. It's as simple as that. Leaky ships. Leaky, leaky ships. So I would love to know what you all think of this. Are we now not surprised that it's the third different version of the event? Again, it's changed. There was one, then it didn't happen, now there's two. Ugh. Why do you think that this has continued on? And do you think it will ever stop unless they actually name who they think made these accusations? Do you think that the conversation was a completely normal conversation to have? Have you had similar conversations within your own family about an expectant child? And of course, where did this information come from? I mean, I can ask the question, I know the answer. Before I go, I would just like to mention a couple of shout outs for some super thanks that I have received. So, thank you to Relaxed Revitalized. You've sent a very lovely, generous donation. So, thank you for your super thanks. Thank you to Fifi Lamu. You sent a very generous super thanks. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. So, that's it. What do you guys think? I would love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.